Okay, now they can come in.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well on this Sunday morning, second day of school holidays. We don't have to do our homeschooling, and we're very privileged today to have with us David Bailey, all the way from Florida. Hi, David. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks, Craig. Yes, it's night time over here, so it's great to be here.
And 9:30 in the morning. It's a little bit breezy outside, but at least the weather's fine. Now, for everybody who's joining us for the first time and doesn't know who David Bailey is, he is the footwork whisperer, if you like. I believe you work with a lot of professional players on their footwork, David.
Yeah, I've worked with all nationally ranked, but actually I've worked with about 21 Grand Slam players. So I've been very privileged to do that over the last 30 years that I've been working. So some pretty big names, but I also really enjoy working with all the red ballers and all the college players. And so my method's kind of like good for 8 to 80 and all different standards for sure.
Well, I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. While we've been off the courts for quite a while here in Melbourne, this is going to be as close as we can get to online tennis in our front yards or backyards, or you can do it inside if you've got plenty of space. We've suggested you go outside. Make sure you've got some chalk there or some markers that you can mark a spot. And I think without further ado, we'll hand you over to David.
Okay, so really excited, everyone, to be working with you. I want to make this as practical as possible. I just wanted to go through what we're going to do. We're going to start off and just do a very simple warm-up. It's really important when you work on your footwork that you find your base. So we're going to find our base first. You might see behind me there's some markers, some red markers, but if you don't have some red markers, then maybe you can just draw some chalk around your feet. So you've got this nice wide base and it's just constantly there. I worked with some Division I college players the other day and I still had to put the disc down because I have found 9 out of 10 people really struggle to keep their feet wide enough. So if you've got some markers down or you draw some chalk around your foot, which we'll do in a minute, that's going to give you a good reference point. And that's also going to be a reference point for when we work through some of what I call the contact moves. So just a little bit on what I do is people come to me and they think footwork is ladders and weaving in outer cones, but I actually feed balls the whole time. So I have this concept of this contact move where you actually do a move hitting tennis balls on the court. So I'm going to take you through the 6 athletic skills of tennis. And you're going to get to, instead of just me showing you pro players doing, I really want you to experience them. But I thought we might start off firstly just finding our base, and then we'll go to the tennis aerobics. I might get you to bring up the tennis aerobics if that's all right, Craig. So you'll see with this tennis aerobics, we're just going to run it. You're kind of finding your base. We're going to practice this, getting our base really nice and wide, and we're up on our toes. That's the first thing that we're going to do in our warm-up is go through that. And then you'll see what I really want to emphasize is warming up the muscles, but putting in the split step and changing our racket every time we do this. So we can do like star jumps and split, or we can just do a whole bunch of different exercises, but we're putting in our split step and we're putting our racket in hand. So we're going to do the twisting, the ones that we're just seeing here, we're going to do that. We're going to twist, we're going to split, and we're going to go through that. So let's have a go at that now, Clive. So we might just go back to me. We'll stop that, and we'll get to set up. Okay? So let's set up. So hi. So the first thing you can see here, I'm really excited because this is actually really exciting for me because it's the first time I've actually done with a group of people indoors. So I've had my clients that follow me indoors, but it's really exciting to have a whole bunch of you doing it together. Now, you see I've got these discs here. So if you have discs, you can just pick them up and hold them in your hand. You notice I've got 2 of them. So I'll just give you a second to get 2 discs. Otherwise, go and get your chalk, because what we're going to do is we're going to draw around our chalk if you can, or put some discs down. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't have that. It's just going to give you a nice reference for what we're going to do. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is find your base. And what you will find most of the time, people stand with their feet not wide enough apart. So if everyone can stand with their feet together like this and hold your chalk or hold your 2 discs and turn your foot to the side. So your right foot to the side and then straighten up. Then turn your right foot to the side and straighten up. So your shoulder width apart. Now we need to go double widths. So we go 45 degrees, straighten up, 45 degrees, straighten up. And that should give you a nice wide base. So I'll do it one more time. So feet together, turn to the side, straighten up. Turn to the side, straighten up. 45, straighten, 45, straighten, and then I put down my discs. So I put down my discs. Okay? So now you've got your base. And I just want you to practice just either bouncing on the base, I want you to make a choice, just bouncing, or twisting, or what I call ready steps. So just practice them again. So bouncing, nice and wide, just behind your discs or on your discs. Twisting, okay, and then ready steps where you kind of flick the feet to the side, flick the feet to the side, and then go into your athletic base. So that split step is really important. So let's try that again. I now want you to just split step with your hands. So twisting, split, bouncing, split, or ready steps, split. Okay, so now we're ready that we've worked on that split step and that nice wide base. I think we're ready to do the tennis aerobics. So if you can just go and grab your racket. Hopefully you've got a racket. If you don't have a racket, you can always just be doing the star jumps and the split without the racket. But obviously I love having the racket in your hand. So hold it so the butt is facing me. And we're just going to go high knees. This is our warm-up. I want you to punch it up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to split. Then we're going to change hands and go high knees again. Split. High knees again. Split. High knees again. Okay, very nice. So that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to do star jumps. So we star jump. I want you to split either on your chalk discs or on your discs or your chalk little circles. So I split, star jumps again. Split, star jumps again. Split, star jumps again. And split. Last one, hold your racket in front. Kick it here. And split. In front, kick the heels back. And split. Kick your heels back. And split. Okay, I'm not sure if I gave you enough time to draw around your feet. So let's do it again. So out. Find this. If you've got your chalk, I want you to draw around your feet so you've got those discs to do it in. So maybe we'll do it one more time. I apologize, I probably didn't give you enough time to draw around. So draw around your feet or do it on your disc. So let's do it again. So high knees, split, change hands. High knees, keep breathing, split. One more time, high knees and split, then high knees and split. Okay, the star jumps, split, change hands. Star jumps and split, change hands, star jumps and split, star jumps and split. Last one, we want to try this one, twisting. Twisting, split, change hands, twisting and split, twisting and split. Last one, twisting and split. Keep your discs there, or your circles if you're driven on the driveway, because we're going to use this a lot. I'm just going to come back and speak to the camera. Put your racket down. You should feel as though your heart rate's got up nicely there. And I love that tennis aerobics. And whew, that's a good workout. The other thing is too, there's about 6 or 7 different one of those that you can practice. I love that as a warm-up because it works all your shoulders, gets your heart rate up, and I think it's a really nice warm-up. So James, we're going to move on to the skipping if that's okay. So what I love about, we're going to bring up the skipping. We'll start that now.
Classic skipping drills.
Okay.
Which are really specific.
So you see with the skipping,
so start with your 2 feet.
There's a whole bunch of different moves.
Sorry, David, my fault. I played the wrong one. So I'm going to just quickly. Yeah, I'll pick that up. Sorry, that's my fault.
But just while that, I love skipping. We might just pause it for a minute. I love skipping because it really gets you up on your toes. So it's not easy. I thought what we might do today is just have a quick look at some of the skipping drills. I might do a little test with you guys, which is a 30-second test of your skipping. If you can stay with me and not make an error, then I'm happy for you to keep doing the skipping as I show you with the rope. But I really suggest if you can't do this 30 seconds at the same pace as me, I'm probably just going to do the skipping without the rope and just show you my 4 favorite skipping moves. But there's going to be a whole bunch of tennis skipping. And if you go to my Instagram, which is Bailey Tennis Footwork, you'll see I've got skipping for one leg. And it's sort of based on Rafael Nadal because 43% of the time he hits off one leg. So I like to do one-legged skipping. I also like to do skipping where you throw in the split step, or this tennis skipping, which I'm going to show you now, which is just really designed for skipping. But so let's have a go. I want everyone to go. We might just have a look at the tennis skipping now, just quickly, James. And you see the big thing about skipping is you're not trying to jump too high off the ground. So you notice when I'm skipping that my feet are really just jumping the height of the skipping rope. So it's very, very small skip. Keep it, and I might just give you a couple of tips on how to skip. And we're just going to work on these movements here, which is kind of like the classic boxing skipping that I really love. And of course, you can throw in a split step with that. So those 4 there, I just want to go through those with you today. And you notice there, the little ready steps and the split, we've already practiced that. So there's a lot of footwork that you can really work on, get you light on your feet. That's fantastic with your skipping. Okay, so let's close that and we'll have a go at the skipping. There's the one leg. Okay, so I'm going to get my skipping rope out. So if everyone gets their skipping rope. So that was me there skipping. Like I'm a pretty good skipper. And I think the big thing with skipping is that, you know, you make sure that you have a good rope and it comes around about under the armpits here. If it's over the armpits, I would just I'd put a little knot in the rope so it's short enough, okay? So make sure it just comes up to under that armpit. And the big thing is, you see my rope is I need to only jump this high. A lot of people jump way too high. And the other good tips is to really keep your elbows in and just turn it like you got little paddle pop sticks. So we might even just try that without the rope, with your feet together, elbows in, just use it like you got little paddle pop sticks, making little circles here, and that's how you skip. As soon as you start to go like this, the rope's going to get too long and it's going to keep hitting your feet, and you don't need to jump very high. So just have a little bit of chance of that. Give you a little warm-up, just pushing from your ankles and just keeping the hands in and just turning at the wrists. So here's the test. Pick up your skipping rope and let's see if you can do 30 really fast without hitting your feet using that technique. Now, then we're going to do some skipping, and those who pass can keep on skipping, doing those 4 boxing moves that I showed you. But I'm going to do it without the rope because I think a lot of you will probably do it without the rope. So let's have a go. We're going to go 30 skips, feet together, elbows in. And on 3, we're going to see if we can do 30 quickly at my pace. I'm going to call them. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So I'm not sure how many of you got that, but that's the pace that you need to skip to work on these different skipping moves. Now, Craig was saying that a lot of you are a little bit rusty and you haven't been practicing the skipping. My footwork has always been so good because I've always been such a great skipper. And if you have a look at boxers, they do so much skipping because they've got to be light on their feet. You can take it with you. It's so easy. but it's worth persevering with, though it can get frustrating if you don't get the skipping correct. So let's have a go, just without the rope. If you've got the rope, good on you, keep going. But let's warm up, feet together, like this. Let's do what I call just toes down. So the toes are down, keep it skipping, but turn the feet at the same time. This is probably the most classic boxing skip that you can get. Okay, so just keep doing 5 more of those. Now, if you wanted to make it more tennis specific, then you could throw in a split and keep going. So let's try that. So toes, then split, then toes down. That's when you bring in that split step that we've been working on. You probably won't split as wide as the discs, but you can definitely practice that split step. Okay, so that's number 1. Feet together again, keep going. Now I want you to do 1, 2, 1, 2. So you go one leg, 1, 2, 2. Another classic boxing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going to throw a split in. Split. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep it turning with the hands. So you've got to synchronize those feet. Split. Good. Okay, back to skipping again. Next one I want to do is the kick. So we're going to go kick, kick, kick. We're just going to give you 4 today. Kicking. You ready for the split? Kick, split. Back to your kicking. Okay. And the last one, I want you to split. So you flip. So flipping. So they're the 4 boxing skips. So I'm going to split, split. So I'm going to show you slide. Kick like this. So kicking. And split. Well done, everyone. Get a quick drink of water, and we'll move on to the shadow tennis. Okay, Craig?
Yep, going very well. We should remind everybody, we know we're showing a few videos here. We're going to, about an hour after we finish, you'll probably get it about 11:30, send out an email to everybody with links to all these videos. So it'll all be there for them.
Yes. And you know, I put a lot on my YouTube, and a lot of people follow it, and they get a lot of really good ideas on how to, you know, get lighter on your feet. Now, I would say those 2 there aren't really tennis specific. They are specific because you're putting the split step in, but I really wanted to take you through the contact moves that I like to teach on the court. And I'm going to throw a challenge out to everyone, because I'm going to give you 12 different lessons with 4 shadow tennis moves to do in each lesson. So that's, you know, that's something like, 48 different moves, but each lesson gets a little bit harder as you go. And I'll talk a little bit more about this at the end, but today I just wanted to really work on the 6 athletic skills of tennis, and we're going to start off with the simplest and work to the most complex. Okay, but if you have a look at the pro players, once you understand these moves, you will never look at tennis the same way again. So we're going to use those discs as the reference point, and we're going to slowly go through it. Now, I might show it to you. I haven't got much space here, and I want to keep it super simple. So we're only going to do 4 hands, and then if you're left-handed, then you're just going to have to obviously just go the other way. So you step with the other foot the whole time, and try and obviously do it the other way. Sometimes I might sometimes do it left-handed just so they can get a bit of a feel of it as well. But I do think from my experience, it's much better if I have my back to you. So I think I'll show it to you at the front a few times, and then I'm going to turn my back and you can follow it from behind, okay? But we might even just practice the really important unit turn first, okay? And then we'll throw in these 6 different contact moves, these 6 different athletic skills. And it's better, instead of me, you know, showing a video of all the pro players doing it, which is fantastic, it's better for you to feel the difference. That's why I wanted to make it very practical today. So grab your rackets, go back to your chalk markers. If you didn't have a chance to put your markers and draw around your feet, definitely do that now, because I want to work on what I call the unit turn and the split step. So We're going to go forehand only. I just want to show it to you first, and then I'm going to have my back to you. So I want you to either, probably I find the best is just to twist, or you can bounce. I wouldn't do the ready step so much. So just choose whether you like to bounce or whether you like to twist. Just keep the racket in the middle of your body, and then I want you to practice the unit turn where you split, and then take the racket back with your feet, and have this arm, so it's a nice unit turn. You can see the racket is only a half turn, so you can see the racket. I haven't taken it all the way around here. So let's just practice that first. I'm going to have my back to you now. So twist steps, so you can see it. Split, turn. We're going to do 5 of them. Twist steps, split, turn. That's 2. Split, turn. Keep that place nice and wide. Split, turn. Take the racket back with your feet. Split, turn. Okay? So, very nice. You've got to get that. It's so important to get that split step, because when you split, your bottom's back and helps you turn. And it's the turn of the hips and the feet that make you fast on the court. So that is important to split, to lighten up the legs so you can then turn fast. It's so crucial in tennis to get that unit turn. No one better than Serena Williams. So contact move number 1, athletic skill number 1 is pivoting. And that's keeping both feet or one foot on the ground. We're going to do the simplest shot in tennis, which is the step down forehand. We go split, we turn, we step down, and we pivot the back foot and finish nice and low with the swing. You notice I haven't gone over I really like to stay low. So let's do 10 of those. 10 forehand step down pivots. Here we go. Ready, steps, split, turn, step down, 1. Ready, steps, split, 2. We'll just do 6. 3. Breathe out as you hit it. 4. Breathe. And last one. 6. Okay, so that is the pivot. The simplest, really good to hit that cross court. Notice I'm trying to synchronize my lower body to my upper body. They're working together. This is so crucial for balance and timing. Okay, number 2 we're going to do is the hop. Now, there's different types of hops. You can go front foot hop, back foot hop, lateral hop. And you'll see those in these different lessons that I'm going to be giving to you, those 12 lessons. But let's do the front foot hop. So don't do it, I just want to show you first. Split, turn, shuffle, hop. We hop on that front foot, and my foot kicks to the side. Notice my swing's quite low again. I'm not hopping too high and coming over my shoulder. So let's do 6 front foot hops, and I have my back to you. Lefties, you're going to turn this way. Okay, here we go. Split, turn, hop. 1. Ready steps. Split, turn, front foot hop. Hop, kick the leg. 2. Split, turn. 3. Just a little hop, not a big hop. 4. Coming up to number 5. Turn, step, hop, kick. And last one, turn, hop, the front foot hop. Roger Federer has an amazing front foot hop. And, you know, like 48% of the time, he doesn't even hit a volley because his hop is so effective. So I like that. You can hit that as a ground strike, but I particularly like that to go into the net. And hopping is a really important skill, as is hitting off one leg. Hitting off one leg, because a lot of the time, like Djokovic, that's going to give you a lot of shape on the ball by hitting off that one leg. Okay, so we've done the pivot, we've done the hop. Now I want to work on what I call the hip spin, where we're going to spin our hip. Now this is going to take a little bit of work because you've got to get the correct stance. But we'll use this as a reference point, because you see on the spin, I'm kind of getting this foot here at 12 o'clock and this foot here at 3 o'clock. Now just put your racket down and get your elbows like this. So you've got your hands over here, the elbow. And I just want you to spin the hip like this. So you're going to go spin. So you go semi-open, which is 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and we spin. We spin our hips. So it's an open stance, but we get power from the hips. Okay? So let's pick up the racket. I have my back to you, and let's see if we can do 6 hip spins. Now, you can see where this is going. You can see at the end, we're going to put this into a little tennis stance, and we're going to put all of these shadows together. But again, we're learning from the simplest to the more complex. So we're going to do the hip spin now. So here we go. Ready steps. Split, turn, semi-open, spin. Level your hips up with the dots. Again, split, semi-open, spin the hip. Look over the elbow. The elbow should be here. Look over the elbow. Again, split, semi-open, spin. And again, split, adjust the feet, spin. Split, adjust the feet, spin. And last one, split, adjust the feet, spin. Okay. Have a quick drink. Have a quick drink. So that's 3. Let me have a drink too. Pretty hot over here in Florida.
I think you've got us on a good day here. It's the warmest yesterday that we've had for about 6 months. So, well, yeah, we've got a good day here too.
Just so you know what Florida's like when you guys come and visit one day. For 6 months of the year, minimum 27 degrees, maximum 41. Day in, day out. Day in, that's why a lot of people come here, because it's so tough to be training in that sort of temperature for 6 months of the year. So, yeah, it's very humid here. I'm sweating up. It's so humid here. So, okay, so we've done the pivot, we've done the hop, and we've done the spin of the hips. This one here is made famous by Rafael Nadal when he hits off the open stance and he slides and he puts his chin on the outside shoulder. I call it chin to chin, but you notice more of a shift. So I call this a mogul. So when you get pushed out wider, instead of spinning, which is more aggressive, you have to shift your hip to the side, either open backhand or open forehand. Serena hits her backhand 83% of the time open. That's an amazing fact. Now let's hit the forehand mogul. So I'm going to show it to you in front and then we'll do it from behind. So you'll see these dots. It's kind of like I'm on a balance beam where I'm kind of shifting to the side. I'm not semi-open and spinning like we just did. We're shifting to the side, chin to chin. So let's try that. Now normally when you do this on the court, you're going to be crossing over and hitting this out near the singles line. But we haven't got space today, but I just want you to feel the difference between a mogul, where we're kind of shifting side to side, compared to a spin, where my head's still, I'm rotating around my hips. So put your foot, actually I'll show you from here. You see that my feet are in between the discs. I'm low and I'm just shifting to the side. Shifting to the side, but my head's over my outside shoulder. So let's have a go at the mogul. Put your feet to the side like you're on a balance beam. Let's do our ready steps. Split, turn, and let's shift to the side, and then shuffle back. Now let's do 6 of them. Split, turn, mogul 1, come back. Split, turn, mogul 2, chin to chin. Look over the elbow. Okay, turn, 4. Keep breathing. You can hear me breathing. Turn, shift, 5. And last one, turn, here's your mogul. Okay? So that's the mogul. And like I said, each is getting a little bit more complex. We're going to put it together. Now, here is the, so I looked at 19,000 shots in the WT and ATP. And this was found to be the most common move used in the game. Now, it was huge on the return. That's where it went through the roof. So if you're hitting a John Isner serve, the fastest serve in the world, you can't do anything but a power move. If you went to jump over a puddle, you would do a power move because you cover the most ground in the least amount of time. It is not an easy shot, but it's funny, when you kind of throw a ball to a red baller, they just run and hit it, and that's kind of how you got to think about the power move. Everything that I teach has a very relevant, what I call a balance move, and that is how you use your non-dominant leg. So you would have seen either, you can drop the knee or you can kick the leg back. This one's a kick to the side fence. So crucial to get that kick into the side fence so you don't open up the hips and hit into the net. So let's have a go at the power move. Again, kind of on our balance plan. I'm going to just show it to you first, where we kick behind. So we like on the run and we kick the leg to the side fence. That's what I call a power move. So I can really, reach a long way with that movement. Tough, especially on the backhand. But let's have a go. So put your feet in between the two discs. We're going to turn first, split, turn. I'm going to do that power move where we kick, and come back again. Split, turn, power move, kick. Ready steps. Split, turn, power move, kick. That's right. Just keep it. The kick is the key. Kick. You notice I'm not trying to replace my feet. This foot is going to land kind of from this red disc to this red disc. It's not replacing. Okay, so you've got to make a lunging movement. So split, turn, power. Last one. Turn, power. Okay. So there's the skill so far. Number 1, we went pivot. Number 2, we went hop. Number 3, we went spin the hips. Number 4, we shifted to the side. Number 5, this is a good stat. Djokovic hits this move on the second serve 98% of the time. So difficult shot, hard to time, but what an aggressive way to hit the return. And I call it a transfer. Great to hit with disguise because the stance I'm going to show you enables you to hit it either way at the last moment. But it does take some timing and it does take some coordination. And you would have found so far these moves would have got harder and harder to get. Now, I know a lot of you are going to get all this, but you will have my little 6 to 12 lessons for you to keep on practicing. If you've been able to get through this, I was saying this to Craig, when I've done some talent ID, if you can pick it up really quick, that's a good sign that you're a good athlete. So, those that are picking it up, really well done. I'm sorry it's so rushed, but I felt like I wanted to at least give you a taste of some of the really important moves of tennis. So let's have a go at the transfer. So with the transfer, again, let's have a go doing this because we're not going to look at it today, but I love boxing. So we're going to learn this because it's quite difficult, more as a boxing move, and then we're going to pick up the racket and have a go, okay? So just put your racket down. What I want you to do is do your ready steps, split. Now get that semi-open stance again. So at 12 o'clock and at 3 o'clock. So you're in this semi-open stance. Great stance because you can adjust in all different ways. This is why a boxer will always use this stance because you can move so beautifully with this semi-open stance. So get in this semi-open stance. Your left hand up, you're going to have to go this way, okay? I apologize, it's harder if you're left-handed. But get semi-open, pull the arm in, and what I want you to do is just do a couple of punches like this, where you turn that back foot, okay? Now a transfer is this. You load the back foot, this foot slides across, and this leg kicks the back fence like this. Kick. So let's try that. You're going to punch with your right hand. If you're right-handed, left. So here, weight on this leg, transfer from this foot to this foot, kick this leg back. Let's try it again. Transfer, kick. 2 more times. Kick. Now punching is actually simpler than swinging, so try it again. Hand across, load, transfer. Notice this load. Load, transfer. Okay, try and pick that up with the racket. Let's do a couple of looks. Sometimes I think it's easier if you follow me from behind. So, here we go. Ready steps. Split, semi-open, and then we're going to transfer. Swing around the shoulder. So we kick, Let's just keep doing it. Load, this foot pulls across, this leg kicks back. So we go from our right foot to our left. Transfer. And again. Load, transfer. Let's see if we can do that with our ready steps and our split. So ready steps, split, turn, semi-open, transfer. Ready steps, split, turn, semi-open, load, kick this leg back, kick. See if you can breathe. Split, turn, semi-open, transfer. Okay, get a quick drink, and we're going to try and put those all together. Slowly, that'll make sense. Okay, get a quick drink. Any questions, Craig?
None right now, but if you want to ask questions, remember, just write it in the chat, and we'll pass them on to David. So if you have any questions, just let us know.
And then you know what? It's challenging. Like, you know, the tennis aerobics was a lot simpler because you're not swinging your racket. But I'm telling you, if you said to me my experience working with 21 Grand Slams players for 30 years, shadow tennis, oh my God, it's just so good for your game. If you're doing it correctly, that's the key. You just got to make sure you do it correctly. But it's a great way when people fly in, I get to the shadow, feed it in, so you can compare your shot when you're shadowing to how it feels when you hit the ball. I'm telling you, it's easier to shadow than hitting the ball. So if you've got to master the shadow first. We don't do that a lot in tennis, but wow, is it so common in so many other sports like golf and boxing, where you're doing all of this shadow to learn the muscle memory correctly. Okay, so let's have a go. It's going to be quite aerobic. Let's do 4 of each move very slowly, and then I think we'll bring it in and we'll have a look at the off-court, you know, ground stroke shadow tennis, so you kind of get a look of kind of what we've done. I think it was probably going to make more sense that I show it to you first, and then you get to have a look at it, and you can practice some of these while you're locked down. Okay? So last thing, let's have a go. All right. Let's put the 6 together. I'm going to have my back to you because I think it's easier. Let's do the step down first. So I'm going to show it to you first, and then you're going to join in. Okay? I'll show it to you twice, and then you can join in, and we'll do another 6. Okay? So here we go. Ready steps. Split, turn. I'm going to show it to you twice. Step down, pivot the back foot. Ready step, split, turn, step down. Okay, now I want you to join in. Here we go. Ready steps, split, turn, 1. Ready steps, split, turn, 2. Ready steps, split, turn, 3. Number 4, keep breathing. Number 5. Number 6. Right. Front foot hop. Split, turn, front foot hop. Just once or twice. Split, turn, hop. Okay, let's join in. Split, turn, 1, hop. Kick to the side. Split, turn, 2, kick to the side. Hop on that front foot. 3. Turn 4. Turn 5. Turn 6. That's a front foot hop. Low spin. Watch it. Spin. Split. Semi-open. Spin. Let's have a go. Split. Turn. Spin 1. Split. Turn. Spin 2. Split. Semi-open. 3. Semi-open. 4. 5. Last one. 6. That's the spin. Woo! Okay. Let's have a look at the next one, which is the motor. So we're going to go to the side. Watch it. Turn. Shift. One more. Shift. Okay, your turn. Let's go. 6. 1. Mobile. Mobile 2. Mobile 3. Mobile 4. Mobile 5. Come back. 2 to go. Power move. Okay, remember to keep that leg back. Here we go. Split, turn, watch it twice. Kick. Split, turn, kick the leg. Your turn, 6 times. 1, recover back. Turn, 2, recover back. Turn, 3, recover back. Turn, power. 4. Turn, kick. Last one. Turn, kick. Always good to look at the ball, like Roger, and then look. Can't emphasize that enough. Finish the swing or land, then look. It will cut errors down by 10% because you're not looking at the target too early. You've got to keep your head over the ball. Hit, swing, look, land, look. Fantastic tip. Okay, last one, transfers. Not easy. So watch it. Semi open, leg kicks, transfer. Right foot to left. So let's have a go. 6. 1. Transfer. 2. Transfer. 3. Transfer. 4. Transfer. 5. Kick that leg. Pull the leg across. Kick. Split. You're done. Well done. Let me get a quick drink. Get a quick drink. Right. Woo! So, well done everyone. Hope you got a good workout like me. I'm sweating like a dog. Okay. Craig, can we have a look at the off-court ground stroke shadow tennis so they can see how they can now...
With or without sound?
Sorry?
With or without sound?
I think we should do it. I think we should do it with sound. Yes.
Okay, sure.
I think that's good.
All right, here we go.
So, off-court ground strokes. Can we just pause that for a little bit? We just pause it. Okay, so you would have seen off-court shadow tennis. I put this together. You probably know Florida's one of the worst places in the world for this terrible virus. It's been locked down here for, geez, way earlier than you guys, and it's actually very serious over here. And I can understand how stressful it is. And I really wanted to help people, you know, why the virus was out here, to give them something to do to keep working on their tennis. So I came up with this. I put this out especially because of the virus, and I did it in front of the garage, kind of similar like what I've done here in black, so you can see it really well, and to show you that you can do it anywhere. So I did it in a driveway, so it's not a Cecil Mills production, but you know, you're going to get the concept of doing it. And what you do is you only do 4 moves a day. So my challenge for you is, now, if you don't get it, do it another day. If you don't get it, do it another day till you think you've got it. So some of the moves will probably be a little bit complex for you. So you don't have to do 1 move from each lesson. You might just do your 12 favorite moves. You might do some of those moves there. And it can include runarounds, it can include forehands, it can include backhands. And then when you feel really good about it, what you do is you write the names down, you film yourself, have it on a piece of cardboard so you know exactly what you're doing, and film it and send it in to me, and I will give a prize. I have this DVD, which is the 12 fundamental moves of tennis, and I think it's fantastic. It's got manuals, it's got pro players demonstrating it, it's got how to shadow it, it's got how to feed it, and how to hit it and put it all together. So it's a great thing, and I'm going to give you guys a code if you want to buy it to get 20% off. But this is another great resource that doesn't cost anything. So obviously this is a gift from me. But you know, the biggest gift from me, from you to me, would be that you take this very seriously and you give it a go. It's called footwork for a reason. It's not called footwalk. So you've got to get out there and really work your feet. And Roger Federer said, my game's all about footwork. If I move well, I play well. That's from the greatest player of all time. If I move well, I play well. This game is so athletic, and the more that you can get your footwork working, the better it's going to be. So let's have a look at how this works, Craig. We're going to probably just have a listen to me sort of speak. The first thing is here. I think I'll have a little read of it first. So there's the 6 athletic skills, pivoting, hopping, transferring, spinning, shifting, and lunging, which we've done. And they're broken down into 4 levels: red, orange, green, and yellow, which is kind of similar to red ball, orange ball, green ball, yellow ball. Begin with lesson 1. Watch the lesson, shadow along with me on the screen. And once you feel comfortable, you can then start to do it continuously, working on the different moves, going one lesson at a time. And like I said, this is how it works. So here it is, basic pivots. You see I've got my dots out there.
Lesson 1, low basic pivots on the red level. So let's start.
So very similar to what we did.
Split, turn, low step down forehand, drop the knee. Come back, split, turn, low step down forehand, drop the knee. Let's do the backhand, split.
So just do 2 of these.
Low step down backhand, drop the knee. Bouncing again, split, turn, low step down backhand, drop the knee. Inside out, run around C, inside out. Come back, split, turn, run around C, inside out, come back and split. Finally, run around G, inside in, down the line, split, turn, run around G, inside in, come back and split. That is the low basic pivots. Lesson number 1.
So that's lesson 1. So you would just do those 4 different lessons, and then it goes on to lesson 2. Okay? So then you'll see lesson 2, which is another, just gets a little bit more high.
Lesson 2 is pivoting again. We're going to look at the high step down pivots and the open pivots. We're going to do 4 moves, and again, it's the red level.
Maybe come back to me. So I hope that makes sense. Like there's 12 different lessons. There's 4 different moves that you do, and just work through it at your own pace. But you can see that the 12 lessons are back to back. You've got this. I've given this to them, Craig, so they can just put this on their iPad, or they can do it off their phone, or they can put it on their TV. I've had a lot of people do it and really enjoy it. I really recommend for you to really work on those split steps, those unit turns, the recovery, and all the different contact moves that you can work. There's, like I said, there's nothing better than shadow tennis, but you want to make sure that you're shadowing it the right way. So I kind of wanted to finish off before we go to questions, and just show them the tennis dance. Now, before we start this, I know Craig was saying that his daughter was really excited about hearing about this, because this is the dream. I just want you to get your head around this, where I wanted to invite people from all around Australia to try out for this tennis dancing team. I have a very good friend who is a dance choreographer. So we got together, and the idea was to do a contest and have people come in and do shadow tennis, have a team of dancers, and go out onto the centre court at Melbourne and entertain the crowd, in between matches. So this was something that I put together as a little pitch to go to Tennis Australia to say, I still haven't lost that dream. I think it would work unbelievable at the US Open. And, getting people from all around the country to come in, I think it'd be a great little documentary. But I just wanted to show you this. The girl that's out the front actually is called Sione Mendez, and she was number 1 18-year-old in Australia. Now she just won a couple of open tournaments. So this was a long time ago. The kids are aged between 6 and I think it was 9 or 8. So they were very young, but I wanted to show you the kids doing the moves, just to show you that you can do these moves, and also to show you that you can hit tennis balls with this. So we're going to finish off doing that. So we're going to crank the sound up. I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to have a watch of it, and then I'm open to some questions. Okay? So if we can bring that up, the tennis dance.
David, I'll get you just to mute your microphone so we don't get the echo while it plays.
Okay, so I've just got to mute my Okay, am I back on? Craig, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I was very proud of that. I think it was a great little thing, just showing little kids doing all the footwork. And I think one thing that's kind of really helpful, and I'm sure that helped you today, is having some language in tennis. You know, like when you're doing the shadow tennis, you know, having a name for I have these 5 R's that I like to teach, you know, how to get ready, how to read the ball. I have a name for all the different balls, how to react, you know, whether you cross out or whether you cha-cha-cha or you rhythm out. So how you move out to it and set up your stance. So how you react to it, how you respond with one of those contact moves, and then how you recover. So tennis is all about that, the 5 R's. Get ready, read, react, respond, recover, and you do that on every ball. And if you can get that happening, you're going to be a much, much better tennis player. And you could see there, hopefully you recognize some of those moves. You saw the mogul, you saw the power move, you saw the front foot hop. And I really try and use language that makes sense. You know, so if I want you to hop on the front foot hop. If I want you to hop on the back foot hop. If I want you to pivot, you pivot on 2 feet. So hopefully that's given you an idea of, you know, what I do. Obviously, it's all about feeding tennis balls and calling out all those moves. I do have a DVD. And like I say, if you've got the, you know, footwork 20, if you go to my website, Bailey Tennis Footwork.com, I really recommend that you have a look at my Instagram, Bailey Tennis Footwork, or my Facebook, because it has all these drills, many, 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 many more. I think I put a lot of information out there because it gets a lot of people flying in to work with me because they get to see what I like to do. So, yeah, so if there's any questions, I'm really happy to have any questions or any questions that you have, Craig.
Yeah, David, tell us a little bit about your academy in Florida.
So I work at a beautiful place called Mar-a-Lago. We've got 6 tennis courts. It's in Boca Raton, actually, is right next door. So we're about 40 minutes north of Fort Lauderdale, about an hour north of Miami. So it's a really cool place. You can drive down to Miami and have a great time. But Boca Raton's probably the #1 suburb in the world for tennis. It's got Everett Academy. It's got Nick Savionis. It's got Macy's. It's got Pro World. It's got about 7 academies just in the one place, which is unheard of in the world. We're next door in Parkland, but yeah, it's an amazing epicenter of tennis, and that's why I'm over here, because you know, it's very good to spread my brand. But you know, it's interesting, you know, for your daughter, Craig, you know, we have the Orange Bowl here. I don't know if the kids know what the Orange Bowl is, but it's the World Championship for, you know, 18, 16, 14 to 12s, and the Eddie Herr, which is actually another academy of volunteers. It's the 2 strongest junior tournaments in the world, and to win that is a huge honor. So it's right here. It's actually in Miami. So, you know, some of you budding, you know, who want to be a pro and really want to see how you are, but that's something to really look forward to. And I'm most happy for you to have you come over and train with me, get your footwork going before you go and go to the Orange Bowl, which is an amazing you know, event, just to see how these top players, these top juniors in the world play. We can all go and see the Grand Slams, but to see the juniors play is amazing. So Florida is very hot. It's very challenging, like I said, but it's the absolute epicenter of the world for tennis. And you come and you know, the tournaments here are so strong because you have so many different players from all around the world living here. So, you know, tennis can be a little bit isolated in Australia, but everyone, you're so welcome to come to Florida. We're not that far from Disneyland, so that's another great reason to come over and see us. So, you know, their chips aren't as good as ours. You know, I really miss the meat pies and the sausage rolls. But anyway, yeah, so it's great over here.
Yeah, we've had a question from, sorry, I'm going a bit croaky here. We've got a competition, so don't go away until we let you enter our competition. But also, we've had a question from Aris. How many hours a week do pros practice their footwork?
Well, that's an unbelievable question, because, you know, I'm a phys ed teacher. My dad played at Wimbledon. I was a very good player. I was like an A1 player, so I always had that tennis background. But yeah, I was at Bollettieri's back in probably mid-90s, and I met a French Open champion called Mary Pierce. And Mary Pierce said, you know what? For 1 hour a day, I just like to get on the court and think about my footwork. So I kind of thought about what Mary said then. I said, well, you know, that's a great thing for 1 hour a day if you can just think about your footwork. Now, most pros probably do about 4 hours a day. They would do probably, say, 3 very intense hours on the court and then get into the gym and do their rehab and do their fitness. They don't tend to do much more than 3 hours a day, but they certainly, you know, work a lot in their footwork. And if you Google Dominic TM and his off-court workouts, you'll see the amazing stuff that he does through sand and with belts on and, you know, jumping up on boxes and all with the racket in his hand. I really like his fitness trainer, what he does. It was kind of what I always believed in, you know, doing it in the sand, doing it up hills, doing it upstairs, get out in the natural environment. So he does a lot of stuff indoors as well. But here's a great example of someone who really works on his off-court footwork and his fitness. And like I said about Roger, you know, but, you know, I think if you can get out there and just, like, it is really hard to think about your footwork and your swing at the same time. So I think what Mary was saying there was how important it is to just be thinking about your footwork and, you know, your split steps, your recovery, your contact moves, and kind of let the swing go and just let that happen naturally. You'll be surprised how beautifully you play when you focus on your movement and your footwork. So that's a great question, a really, really good question, and really important to know that, you know, you can look at all these idiosyncrasies of all these pro players, but one thing that they all do super well is they all move unbelievably well, and that's why they're pros. And that is why they're singles players against doubles players. The great singles players do so because they're great movers, and the ones that don't move so well but are super talented, they just don't move well enough, a lot of the time they'll go into doubles, just because they cannot move well enough to handle the game. So that's a great question.
So I believe we have a competition. We've got the school holidays just started here, so people have plenty of their time on their hands. Do you want to take us through that, David?
Yes. So what the competition is to have a look at that off-court ground stroke shadow tennis that I showed you. Keep practicing them all. You'll see actually when you see the video, it actually has the rules of kind of what I want you to do. What I would like you to do now, you can choose 12 very simple moves and film that. That's no problem. If you take one from each lesson, then obviously that's going to give you more points. So what I really want you to do is to practice your shadow tennis, choose 12 different moves by going, there's no rush. I'll let you know, Craig, when the closing date is, but, you know, we'll give you at least a couple of months, maybe 2 months to go through it. Practice your shadow tennis, film it, and then send it to me at David at BaileyTennisFootwork.com. You can send it via WeTransfer. That's the best way to do it. And I will choose the best one that I like, and then I will announce, you know, through you, Craig, the winner, and they will get my fundamental footwork pro pack, which is worth $150. It has manuals, it has 3 different DVDs, that has all these different manuals, it has posters. It's a really, really, really good thing to work on your footwork. So that will be the prize. It's worth $150 to the person that submits the best shadow tennis routine. So like I said, again, study the 12 different lessons we showed you. Saw lesson 1 and a little bit of lesson 2. Choose one from each one if you want, or just choose your 12 favorite moves, the ones that you think you can do best. Film it. Like I said, it's good to put on a piece of paper in front of you behind the camera so you know what you're doing, and then send it to me at David at BaileyTennisFootwork.com. If you don't get into that challenge, that's no problem. I mean, I'm just trying to help you guys to get better on the court, and shadow tennis is a great way to do that. So that'll be the competition, and that'll be the prize.
Yep. And as I said, everybody will get those links to the lessons and everything at 11:30.
Yes.
It's got your email as well, so don't have to write it down. It'll all be there for them.
It'll all be there for them, and they can just do it, you know, off their iPad, or they can do it off their. I mean, I've had a lot of people do it. Eventually, you learn it. You know, like, just you do it enough, you won't even have to have the cue cards, because, and, you know, just do 2 of each, just like you saw. Just do like 2 step downs cross court, 2 front foot hops, 2 run around transfers. whatever seems to, and then send it in. And I love to, and of course you'll go on my Instagram and on my Facebook if that's okay. I mean, of course I'm going to ask you your permission to do that, but yes, I think it'd be a really fun thing for you guys to do, and I think it will really help your tennis. And like I said, there's nothing better than tennis than shadow tennis. It's so specific. I don't know if you guys, I mean, that's the first time I've done it with someone following me live. I don't know if it was too fast. I apologize if it was, but I mean, it's not easy to do shadow tennis straight off the bat, but the more you practice it, the better. And I think you'll really enjoy going out and trying to practice those moves on the court, because I think that's a big thing, Craig. You can do your ladder drills, you can do your skipping, you can do your tennis aerobics, but tennis is all really, if you said to me, what's the most important I would have to say the reading. So you've got to read the ball and know what move to do on what ball. And the only way to do that is to learn the shadow tennis and then bring the ball in and practice some of those moves. And I think the other thing that's really exciting is that, the French Open is just coming up. We just had the US Open on. You will never look at the game the same way again, because you've got this biased eye. You start to see these moves happening in front of you on the TV. So that's the other really fun thing about it. I don't think you will ever look at the game the same way again. You'll look.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. If you're watching Djokovic play, have a look at the second serve, and as you said, 98% of them were on that backward hop, I think it was.
No, that transfer, so I'll just show you, just to show you, Djokovic. So if you return serve, it's just kind of like this bounce and this transfer, or this. You'll be down. You'll bounce and you transfer like that. That's the move that he does 98% of the time. Now he might not always do it forward. He might do it sort of at an angle or whatever. But just that, and just talking about the return of serve. There's only two people that ever get talked about as famous return of serves, and that's Andre Agassi and that's Djokovic, and both of them do the transfer more than anyone else. And so it's a very, very good move. It's difficult, but it really suits the kick serve because you're following it with your body, with your legs. So give that one a go. It's kind of fun.
Well, that's been great, David. I'm sure everybody's really appreciated. We've had a really good turn up today. They've all stayed for the duration. That's a wonderful thing. And we thank you so much for your time. We know it's getting late there in Florida. We thank your family for hiding them away. They're probably looking after the dog out the back, are they?
Well, I was trying to practice some of it. The dog kept on biting me on the butt. So, I had to, she was going crazy because she's going, what's my little master doing? Where's she doing all this funny stuff so we had to put her away because she was going crazy. It was really funny. So.
That's excellent. And this session will also be recorded. It will be up on the Bayside Tennis website, and it will also be on the BRTA YouTube channel. If you've got any questions for me, you can always contact me at president@baysidetennis.asn.au. We can also put you in touch with David. I'm sure if you spoke to Lynn and Colin at Moorabbin and Districts Tennis, they'd be happy to connect you up as well. And let's hope we get some more of our local players across the academy there. Thank you so much.
I'd like to say, I miss saying g'day, mate. It's, it's all here. Hey, buddy. So just to be able to say g'day, mate, to someone and talk cricket, and talk Aussie rules, and oh my God, it'd be so fun.
Cricket, baseball on Valium.
Yeah, exactly. It's all basketball and American football. It drives me crazy. Geez, I miss the rugby league. I miss it so much. But anyway.
Well, see, I didn't mention to everybody that David is from New South Wales as well originally. So, so that's why this is the NRL. Because in Melbourne here, we're all talking AFL last match of the season.
I know. But you still do pretty well with the Melbourne Storm, though. But
we do. If we've got any Melbourne supporters out there, I know your day is going to be tense watching on the result of the Western Bulldogs Fremantle match. Fingers crossed. So you've had a good start today. Thank you so much.
Huh? Well, I'd like to see them, come over and watch the US Open too. It's kind of cool as well. But you guys are so lucky you got that Australian Open. So it's a wonderful event, and go. Geez, we talk about watching it on TV. You guys can go and watch the footwork live. How lucky is that? That's amazing. So, but anyway, the other thing I wanted to say is just make sure you follow my Instagram, because I put a lot of really cool stuff on there, and a lot of this stuff's on there, and I think it will really help your footwork. So, all the best, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Hope you learned something and got a bit of a workout. I really wanted to make this more of an experience than an exhibition. I could have showed you all the pro players doing all the moves, and you wouldn't have remembered anything. So I'm glad that you got in and gave it a go. I know it's not easy, but I think that's probably the first shadow tennis workout that's been done, like that. So it's pretty cool to be doing something like that, with me. So thank you so much for everyone for just even showing up and giving it a go. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, David. Bye-bye. See
Bye.
you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.